an artificial spreader rig with about an 8-pound bluefish hanging onto the tail bait. When this happens, whether you're using dead baits or using artificials, it's not a pleasant time for the cockpit crew. When you fish a piece of water where there's tuna fish and bluefish together, there's only one bait you can use, and that's a bluefish. Here we have our bluefish. We're going to insert the wire in the bluefish a little differently. The hook end, which has not been wrapped, is going to be inserted underneath the jaw through the soft nape section. It will come back out just between the vent fins and the belly, which, as in the case of the mackerel, has also been gutted. We're going to rig this bait as a swimmer. We don't want to have that wire go through his jaw because his jaw is far too tough. It won't pull through. You can see here I'm using a 12-aught hook, and once we've completed these wraps, then our hook is going to be pulled back through. One of the advantages of rigging a swimmer this way is we can position the hook a little further back. Once we've selected that position, we're going to double our thread, tie the overhand knot, and forming that big loop, and we're going to push it right down between the gill plates, the lower jaw, up through his nose. Put our needle through the loop, pull it down snug. And we're going to tie exactly the same knot we've been using on mackerel and squid. Parallel your main wire over the top, underneath, and pull that first loop down into position. And 2 or 3 half hitches in front, pull down tight. And we have our finished knot. As I said, this bait's going to be rigged as a swimmer. The difference here is the weight's actually going to be affixed to the bait, free of the wire. Again, as with the mackerel, we're going to have to close up the belly section. Single stitches. We're going to put one stitch just in front of the hook here. That'll keep our hook from swinging side to side. As I had indicated before, any fish that's been used for trolling must have the gill plates securely closed. Bluefish is very, very tough. You'll find almost a secondary gill plate, or where I'm pushing my needle through now. It's the only soft portion in the gill plate itself that really would allow you to push a needle through it. And it's very clearly defined. Simple overhand knot again, cut off the remainder. Our hook is in position. He's secured to the main leader. What I'm doing here is tying one single loop around the wire and the double thread that we used to tie his head on with. What this does is just pull the wire from under his jaw right up to his nose, good and tight. We've got here is a 12-ounce bottom weight that I've cut the ring off of, and I've taken a drill and drilled 2 holes through it, as you can see here. This makes it far easier to affix to the bait because of the way we have to align it. Just push our needle right through the holes in the front with our thread, and just back about an inch or so through the heavy part of his jaw, we'll push the needle through, And we'll position the weight. The knot we're going to use here is going to be 2 half hitches. The reason for this is I may want to adjust the tension of the weight once I've secured the weight from the rear. So I'm not going to cut the thread in this case until I've secured the rear portion of the lead to the bait fish itself. From another angle you can see now I can adjust the tension by sliding that half hitch down. Now I've positioned it the way I want, and I'm going to do the same thing with the rear of the weight. I've already gone through the lead and I'm pushing it through his gill plates. Just below the joint of the jaw really, but in his gill plate. And here we're going to tie this knot very securely. Good and tight. And both our knots will be trimmed. And our weight now is securely in position. What I'm looking for here is to make sure that my leader, because it is underneath the jaw, will come up and lead directly off the nose. And I'm adjusting the knot accordingly. What I'll do to ensure this is by taking just a single piece of thread, I'm going to go through the loop and pull it down around the wire, as you can see here. Single knot, pull the thread right down so my wire and loop affixing it to the wire pulls directly off his nose. And you have a finished bait. Every fisherman's dream is to get out south of the Cape and encounter a school of running fish. You'll look at the top of the screen here. That's exactly what we've found. These fish are running very light. We're paralleling them at this particular point. And the whole key here is to present the baits in a fashion where the fish are encountering the bait isn't encountering the fish. We do this by paralleling the school until our bait is just about in front of the lead fish, and then we begin a turn. As you can see here, we've actually gotten one of the fish interested. He's come out of the bunch, and now he's sinking out of sight. The entire school here has disappeared. We only have the last bit of residual action in the water that would tell us where they were. But we'll continue to make our pass just as though we still had visual contact. It's very important to make sure that all our baits are running straight and skipping on the surface. We've really completed our pass on the fish, but we want to hold a straightforward direction. At this point, all eyes are on the baits. It's up to the fish. Get away! Hit it! No, you not got it! Doesn't have it! No, 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 no! Keep it straight, Stevie. Just leave it. He's following it now. Come on, he's right there. Clear the rods, boys. Go ahead, Stevie. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
man.
I will.
Nothing much, he's flying it now.